Amy and welcome to my channel, a place where I combine both my love for running and for music. I'm so excited to share today's video with you where I interview Peter Suckling. Peter is an amazing runner and he recently just ran Boston in 3 hours and 29 minutes. We talk about his training and how it's changed over the years, and he gives some really useful information for people who are just starting to run or just people who've been running for a while. I know I learned a lot listening to him and I know you will too. But before we get into the interview, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a video. Okay, hi Peter, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me today. I'm super excited just to kind of go into your running history and just kind of how your training's going. So first off, did you run today?
I haven't yet. I got to get out there a little bit later today. Yeah, I got to see if I can stay on my feet. We got a little bit of snow up this way today.
Are you training for anything right now, any specific race, or kind of just in a base fitness?
Yeah, well, I've just come off a marathon, I guess about a month and a half ago. And I'm now getting back out there and I'm looking at possibly doing the Tannenbaum again this year in early December.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's virtual this year though, I believe, right?
The virtual. I think you can do any distance you want.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, so I don't know whether I'll do a 10K or maybe a half. We'll see. So
in regards to your history of running, when did you start running in the first place?
I was a late starter, actually. I was always into sports, competitive skiing and squash and a little bit of hockey and always hiking and biking and stuff. But I really didn't get into distance running until I was about 49. I was heading for that big 5-0. And my wife, who's always been a runner, she and I thought it would be fun to go out and do the Victoria Marathon. Her family lives out, or her mom and dad lived out in Victoria, BC. So we thought we'd go and visit them and run the Victoria Marathon. And so that would be our first. So yeah, that's when I got into it. And, she unfortunately got injured about a month before the race. And so she couldn't do it. But I did it and I had a great day and really enjoyed it. I qualified for Boston on that one. So I got hooked on running.
That's amazing, especially that you qualified for Boston, your very first marathon. I think that's so impressive. What's your favorite moment, or is there a favorite moment of racing or just in running or in general?
Well, lots of great moments for sure. I think that Tannenbaum 10K last year was really fun last December. Running by the lake and in a blinding snowstorm. That was just great fun. My entire family runs. So my wife and my kids are runners. As you know, Jonathan's a runner. And I crossed the finish line with him. It was his first marathon. It was Ottawa 2019. That was a pretty awesome moment for him to kind of run his first, and he was pacing me. I was trying to qualify for Boston again. And so that was a pretty awesome moment. I think part of the thrill there as well was that I had a knee injury that was not running related. I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to do those distances anymore. But it really settled down and it recovered, and we built it up gradually. And we did the Scotia half initially, and that worked out great. And then we kept going and did the Ottawa Marathon in the spring. So, but yeah, I think that was probably the best moment. I mean, there's been lots. Running the Victoria, always, your first marathon's amazing. Boston was pretty incredible. Running through the Scream Tunnel at past the Wellesley College was something you'll never experience, and unless you do it. And then. So those were kind of the...
That's so funny because I was actually running the Ottawa Marathon in 2019. That was before I joined BlackToe and met John and everything. It was actually my probably worst marathon of my life, but I'm glad you had a good experience. And yeah.
Well, that's neat. Yeah.
Not a good day. So it seems like marathon, you've seen like the marathon is one of your favorite races, or is there a specific distance that you kind of enjoy the most?
Yeah, it is. They're all great, whether it's, 5K, 10K, the 30K around the bay. They're all really great. But I think for me, the rewards are great. And I get the biggest boost for myself anyway, when I test the limits on do a marathon. So yeah, for me, it's the marathon. It's my kind of my favorite, I guess.
What is your training looking like right now? So you kind of mentioned at the beginning, so you're training for Tannenbaum. So do you run multiple times a week? Like, what's your schedule kind of look like?
It's changed over the years a little bit. When we first started running, training for the Victoria, we just ran consistently every day, or 6 days a week. And it was, and then I eventually came upon sort of the Victoria Marathon training program. And it gave me a little bit more of a guideline to follow. But it was mostly, a lot of running, 6 days a week, and a little bit of speed work. I remember, we'd go over to the track usually on a Wednesday, and we do maybe 3 or 4 400s. And that was pretty much it. But over the years, what I've actually done is I've decreased the frequency of runs. So I'm more like 4 or maybe 5 days a week if I'm getting close to a race, but four times. And that sort of allowed me to balance things out a little bit with other activities. I play hockey, and that sort of counted as sort of one run. But doing that and even decreasing, I still felt that I was making good gains, and I was focused more on including speed and tempo along with my easy runs in my weekly training. Yeah.
So that's cool. It seems like it doesn't, hasn't affected your speed. Like, you just ran Boston, and what was your time again?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was 3:29, and
that's amazing.
Yeah, not bad for a 60 plus year old guy.
Yeah, you can run faster than some people I know.
So that's cool to see that, you're still training, you're training less, but you're still, still strong runner and still like doing really, really well. And so do you think that's because you've decreased your runs that you're like continuing to do well? And like that balance of kind of just less is almost more as you age?
Yeah, definitely. I've got better at more precise in terms of more familiar, I guess, in terms of my pacing, whether it's 5K or 10K pace or tempo. I've become more familiar with it, and I'm better at changing pace and training my body to make that adjustment. And I think that's really, really helped me. I've been able to train my my energy systems, anaerobically as well as aerobic, and I think that's really helped me kind of hang on to my pace over the last 10 or 12 years. So
that's awesome. So the days you're not running, are you doing? You said like activities like hockey or other activities. Are you doing mobility or strength, or do you have like one day completely off? What does kind of that look like?
Yeah. Yeah, Monday's usually an off day because I like to do my long runs on Sunday. But yeah, Monday would be off. But yeah, what I've done is I have started to include more. I've actually just started really to include strength training and mobility in my routine. So that's really important as you get older and you start to lose your muscle mass and your bone density. It's really important to do strength training and mobility. And I think it's a great opportunity for me because I honestly haven't done much through the years, and I've just started. And so now I've got sort of a 40-minute routine that I include in with my running routine. And I think it really helps. And I'm kind of excited about that as a chance to increase my flexibility, maybe be a more efficient runner. And maybe that'll help me hold on to my pace as I counter the age thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's super important, even for just like any runner in general, to do strength. I just know myself, I feel so much stronger and I feel like I can run faster because I have strength in my schedule. So I think really important for any runner, but especially as you said, as you get older. In regards to speed, you kind of talked about it a little bit. Are you doing speed right now, or you kind of wait till you're training for a specific race and then do you do multiple speed runs a week, or do you just kind of one?
Yeah, I do speed work for sure. I really enjoy kind of the balance between the two. I find I enjoy my long runs more when I've kind of grunted out and done my speed work midweek. Usually Tuesday or Wednesday, I do speed workouts, and sometimes Friday. Certainly as I'm getting closer to a race, I would include a tempo run on Friday. So I do a little bit more of that, and I've been working on that. Jonathan introduced me to the Yasso 800s a little bit before my last marathon. I think it was about 4 weeks prior, and I think it really helped me. It was painful, but it was really good in terms of getting me prepared physically as well as mentally for my race.
Yeah. So 800s, I guess if people don't realize or know what it is, how many repetitions do you do? You do 800 meters so you pick your goal marathon pace. So for example, it's 3 hours and 30 minutes. You do your 800 meter in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And
That's
then
exactly,
that's kind of,
yeah. I think we were doing them in about 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Nice.
And like you said, the theory is that you should be able to run your marathon, or could run your marathon around 3 hours and 20 minutes. And so I was in around that area, but so it was, I think we did about 8 or 10, at least 10, I think, actually. So it was a tough night, but it was definitely, it made a huge difference. Yeah.
What is about like the max kind of distance you do maybe before a marathon, or just in general, I guess?
Yeah. So my long run starts to stretch up around 34, maybe 36, 37, as I get closer to the race. I think mentally, I like to do 37 because I like to think, okay, well, I'm only 5K away from a full. So,
Yeah.
so I think that that gives me a little confidence, and in terms of what I'm going to feel like, even though I'm running at a slower pace at that time. So yeah, I would work up towards 36, 37 K, I think, getting close to a marathon.
Do you see a physiotherapist or a massage therapist in how often, or if ever?
Yeah, I do. I've actually married a physiotherapist, so uh,
You were so lucky.
yeah, it really has some benefits. And I also work for a sports med clinic as well. So I'm really, really fortunate to have access to services and help along the way. So that's really helped me just in terms of developing exercises. I've been really fortunate. I haven't had many injuries, but when I've had one or two, and when that has happened, I've been able to take advantage of my physio or the company I work with. But more importantly, they give me exercises, and it's really helpful to have somebody watch over you to ensure that you've got the right technique and the right form. So that you're getting the maximum gain, and you're not doing any other damage. So I've been really fortunate that way. I've never actually been to a massage therapist, which is kind of unusual. No one can believe it that I haven't really gone. So I plan to do that. I think that would be really helpful. I haven't done any yoga either. My physio wife strongly recommends it, but. Yeah. I think that would be another great opportunity for me to improve my mobility and also my strength. So that's something that I plan to do in the future.
So is there anything in particular you do for recovery, especially just like as the years, like is it changed as well from maybe when you first started running at 59, and to now, or what does that look like?
So I typically need to do most of my recovery after my long runs, but I'm doing in the long runs. Typically, I hop in the backyard pool, which is great for stretching, and that's been really helpful. I also believe in the importance of a healthy diet. That's been really, really important. Fortunately, all the people around me share that same feeling, so that helps. We all eat the same food pretty much, and then also sleep. I've learned there's no shame in a 20-minute nap when you're training for a marathon. Grab a 20-minute nap when your body is telling you it's really tired is a good idea. So I've got better at that through the years, and I think that's helped me. But lots of vegetables and fruit and some protein powder in my smoothies after a long run, and that seems to work well for me.
Before you go on your run or after your run, do you do kind of any pre-run activations, post-run stretches? Is that kind of in your routine, or if so, how long would you do for each?
Yeah, I'm increasing that more and more as the years go on. There was a time when I would just I'd go out and just start running. I used to play squash that way. I'd just get on the court and start playing squash. So not a good idea. Certainly, as you get older, it's more important to stretch and to have a routine. So I have a good 20-minute routine that I do where I stretch out my legs and get my back stretched out a little bit and just feel a little more comfortable at the start of the race than I usually do, or start of the run than I usually do. So,
so fun question. What pair of shoes or what brand do you like running in?
Well, I ran in Asics for years, and I think they were Keanu and Nimbus, and it was really simple. I knew they never hurt my feet, and I would just go and keep getting another pair every few months. But then I started to train with Jonathan and spending some time, and he educated me on shoes, and he's very persuasive. so now I have many shoes. I have training shoes. I have a lot of Nikes and Hokas. I have training shoes, which are what are the Nike Pegasus Turbo Zooms, and I have speed shoes, and I'd have my long run Hoka Cliftons, which are great. And now, believe it or not, I actually have race day only shoes. So I got the Nike Alpha Flies, which I wore in my last marathon, and then I had to put them away. So, yeah. But it's honestly, they've added some fun and some variety, and they've really helped me. I think they've helped my body and my knees and my performance, and and it's good, and you just got a great way of saying, you work hard, you deserve to go and reward yourself and buy some new shoes. So that's
yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah, and you put on the mileage, more and more. Some of us put on more than others, like yourself, but I would typically do 50 or 60 kilometers a week. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm getting into the race zone, 3 or 4 months before, I'd start to build that up to probably 80 or 90 kilometers a week. But that seems to work for me. So it's important to look after yourself with good shoes and replace them. And that's what I've done. So, yeah. Do
you have any advice for runners if they're just getting into running, and if they've been running for a while and they're slowly changing age groups? What advice do you have for them?
For me, I think, starting out, joining a run club, when you're able to do so, is really important. It's great for camaraderie, and it's great in terms of developing a specific custom program for yourself, based on your goals, and with people around you, they tend to hold you to your program and hold you to your goals. So that's really been important to me. I do run on my own often, or I was certainly before all this. I was still running on my own, and then I would hook up with the running club on Sundays, and that was great. But ultimately, you need to find your own motivation. Running, for me, brings joy in so many ways, and you really have to figure out what motivations you have. And as you get older, more and more people that aren't active or can't be active because of an injury or perhaps an illness. So I just feel very fortunate to be able to run, and I'm happy just to do it because I can. I think for most runners, including myself, it gives you a great mental and physical balance in your life, and that really helps. I think you perform better during the day, and you sleep better at night. It works for me. Those are kind of things. I think it does help you. It's interesting to get familiar with your tolerance level. There is pain in pushing yourself, but you get familiar with that tolerance, and I think it allows you to get more familiar with your body and improve your awareness, and when you push those limits. Like most things in life, as you work hard consistently, you get the rewards, and that's been great. My wife and I are a big believer in the work, and the concept of work and reward. So we enjoy that and work hard and indulge in food or whatever you like. So that works out. I mean, I think as you as for running, as you get older and you're moving up that age chart, different age categories, that's always interesting. What they call those age groups as you get older. You never like to think you're an old guy, but I ran a Unionville 5K in the area. There's one every year, pretty much, and I was in a category in the most recent one, and it was for people between 60 and 98. And Amy, I won that one, and I came home and told everyone I won the under 8 division, under 98 division. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, but age is just a number, and you just listen to your body and go with how you feel. And if you're into competitive running and trying to qualify for Boston, the nice thing, as you likely know, is as you move up those age brackets, you get another 10 minutes. They gift you another 10 minutes. So
nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty sweet. And there's also fewer competitors in your age group. So that's how it works. But start small, build gradually, set a goal, and the sooner you get at it, the better. That's it. I mean, you meet great people. I met a guy who's run, over 100 marathons, just amazing. And guys who've, run a marathon in each continent, at least, done the circuit at least once or twice. So it's fantastic that way.
Yeah, the running community, just meeting great friends, like I met John and just all the people from BlackToe, and it's just, running has changed my life for the better, and very excited to continue running on for as long as I can.
Well, that's so great. I've been really fortunate to, connect with some of John's friends as well, and yourself and the BlackToe and group. And it's been really neat for me, sort of, I guess as an old guy to kind of connect and train a little bit and run with some younger people, and it's been kind of fun. They've even embraced my name, Pistol Pete. So
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. So I do my run now, and I get kudos that says how to go pistol. So
I love it.
It's added a lot of fun in my life too.
Last thing, do you have any funny moments from a race or just funny moments running that you want to share? Wow.
Yeah, there's been a couple. I mean, one that sort of stands out is I think it was the first time I ran the Ottawa Marathon, and my entire family, my 2 kids and wife were waiting with 100 yards to go, or sitting there waiting for me to come by. And I was really pushing hard to try to qualify, and it was tight. And I was coming down, and I started to lean backwards, and still not really sure why, but I was really leaning backwards, and to the point where a spotter came out and started to run behind me because he thought I was going to fall, and then when I crossed the finish line, they literally put me in a wheelchair, and they insisted I sit down for a second. So I guess the funny part was that my family, they just thought it was hilarious. They just thought, who was that who just went by, and why is he running so funny? And I still don't know why. I mean, obviously, you've been there. Your body is taxed. Your oxygen is all in your muscles, and so you're starting to lose it a little bit. But I think part of it was my core wasn't as strong as perhaps the rest of my body, my legs, and it started to give in a little bit more. So it was pretty funny, I thought they would have been concerned, but they thought I looked pretty funny. So another thing just really quickly is, when John ran his first marathon with me, I was the savvy veteran, and then I forgot my gels, and we got a kilometer into the race, and we had no one else there watching us, and so we're on our own basically, and I said, you know what, I forgot my gels today. So I think he was carrying just 2 for that race, and so fortunately he gave them to me. So that was a good moment. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again. I really appreciate you just sharing all your experience, and I know it's really helpful for me to hear, and I'm sure many other people will enjoy hearing what you had to say. So again, I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for taking an interest in my running, Amy. I really appreciate it, I hope, some of the info might resonate with other 60 plus age guys and girls myself. So thank you very much.
Bye.